I am Felicia. I'm the creative director here at RESA, and today I am joined by John Kitts, and he is from CityScoop. So, hi, John. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
We are very happy to have you. So, you were with us at RESACon, and that was kind of your big debut to stagers. Let us know how your interaction with stagers was and what they wanted to know about CityScoop.
Oh, it was great. My first time being at RESACon. I've known Shell for a long time,
Mhm.
but it was great to kind of just get right into it and meet everybody. Got a wide range of questions. It seems like there's general questions just overall about how to get more customers and marketing, and then a lot of people had very specific things that kind of pertain to their own situation. So it's not kind of across the board.
Okay, and we'll probably dive into some of those questions today. And if not, anybody that does have questions outside of the webinar, and maybe you want to speak to John one on one about your situation, John, why don't you go ahead and put your contact information in that chat box? That way, people can chat with you offline if they do want to talk specifics. Otherwise, we are so excited to take your questions live at the end of today's session. If you have questions as they come up, please drop them in the Q&A box. That's how we're going to make sure we get them all. And John is excited to take them all at the very end after he does about a 25-minute demo, and he's going to go over how you can rank better on Google. So we've got a good amount of attendees that have jumped on. And for those of you who are just getting here today, we will have this replay available if you can't stay on until the very end, but we hope that you do because John has a lot of valuable information. And again, he's going to take all of your questions at the end of the session. So why don't you go ahead and get started today, John?
Right. Great. Well, again, thank you for your time. At CityScoop, we've developed what we call news-powered marketing. Powerful national news publications such as NBC, Fox Business News, and New York Times all monetize a majority of their businesses by selling advertisements to advertisers and content subscriptions to users. CityScoop has the same kind of search engine authority as these national news brands, but instead, we provide a service which uses our power to drive new customers directly to our clients' businesses from search engines like Google. And it works really well. And that's what I'm excited to show today. So, first, we'll start with what's most important, which is how we can help your business. Then we'll take a glance at all the services we offer, go over a little bit about strategy, and then I'll show some examples of real results and talk about how long it takes to get them. And the last section covers pricing, and then I'll have plenty of time left over for questions afterwards. So let's dive into it. Um, how we can help your business from small things like website troubleshooting to large scale marketing campaigns. There are a lot of ways we can help businesses, but the biggest areas where we can help are saving time, creating visibility and trust online, and driving new customers. So, first, we save businesses time by operating as their marketing arm, pushing out positive PR campaigns, running their social media, and blasting them to the top of search engines where people are searching for their services. There are so many companies who try to take on everything, including doing their own marketing, and they often end up either wasting time and money and get moderate results, or they never even find the time to follow through. We can get the results, we communicate with our clients on topics and campaign goals, and we execute the plan for them, saving them valuable time to focus on other aspects of their business. With our service, our clients have the option to be involved and help steer the ship or be 100% hands off. Second is visibility. We guarantee to push any business to the top of Google so people who don't know their name can easily find them when searching for local service providers. Third is credibility. We build an enormous local presence on Google for our clients. So no matter what people search, their business just keeps popping up at the top. giving their business massive credibility, which often is the main factor that converts a prospect into a customer. And the fourth, of course, is new customers. When your business is a top ranked company on Google for just about every industry, as long as your website isn't terribly outdated or you don't have a bunch of terrible online reviews, you'll get new customers and often a whole lot of them. And at this point in the demo, we typically ask business owners, what are some of the things that they are looking for help with in their business specifically? And so feel free to email me at info@cityscoop.com, info@cityscoop.com. If you do have any questions or would like to set up a call to discuss your business goals and situation. So onto our services. There are a lot of different services that we provide, from driving new customers to web design and website troubleshooting to managing social media and email campaigns. And most of our services are all part of our all-in-one solution and encompass most of all the services listed here on this slide. From new customer acquisition to websites to social tracking and metrics, we can handle it all. Or we can work with your existing web team to implement a program that will get the results that you're seeking for your business. And so you can see most of all these businesses here, minus the asterisk, are part of this all-in-one solution that we offer. So next, I want to talk about our strategy, which is really simple. Outrank everyone, win every battle, or at least as many as we possibly can. Because people search thousands of different ways for the same product or service. Think about that. It's important. In order to reach a lot of customers, you need to have such good visibility that no matter how someone is searching for services, your services in your area, you are almost always popping up at or near the top. And that may sound difficult or even impossible to outrank everyone in your market. Earning the top ranked position on Google for even a handful of competitive search terms can be extremely difficult. And everyone is vying for the same coveted top spots, battling against competitors who have been rooted in the top positions for years. There are typically a few companies in each market who are getting the lion's share of all the business because they are the ones that come up at the top. And they, of course, don't want to give up their top positions either. But the reason we are so confident is we have a secret weapon that nobody else has. It works every single time, no matter if it's a new business or an existing one. And you have the opportunity today to lock out your competitors so they can't get it. Let's take a look at our secret weapon, which is CityScoop.com, our website. CityScoop is the top-ranked authority on Google for local business news in the US. This link right here takes us to a live search on Google. And here's what you get if you search US local business news. CityScoop is #1. Notice CityScoop outranks powerful news channels such as NBC, Fox Business News, and the New York Times, who I mentioned at the beginning of this demo. When you click through to our website, you find our news feed where we're publishing about businesses all across the United States and across many different industries. So here's how it works. CityScoop publishes press releases every week about our client's business, which links to their website, links to their search engine profiles, and links to all their social media accounts. And our authority with Google powers all of their marketing and pushes all this up to the top of the search engines and putting their business directly in front of new customers. It's news-powered marketing. It's like a supercharger for your business. And here's an example of what a news article looks like on CityScoop. We use these articles, and lots of them, to push your website, Google and search engine listings, and social media accounts to the top of the search engines and in front of potential customers. So let's take a look next at what that looks like in action. This next slide here. So as I mentioned earlier, people search thousands of ways for the same product or service. So what we want to demonstrate with this slide is that when doing general searches or specific searches, our client keeps ranking at or near the top. These are links to live Google searches showing where Bianchi Interiors ranks. They are a RESA member, and we did a trial with them to show how our service works fast for real estate stagers too. And it's only been a few searches. So here's a search. They're in Pomona, California, Los Angeles County. Here's their hometown. If you search for home staging in Pomona, you'll see Bianchi Interiors right there at the top of the map. The maps get clicked on the most, more than the results, so that's obviously really great to show up there. Again, another general search, home staging company. Notice again right there on the top of the map. As we scroll down, and again, it's only been a few months, but we're starting to pull up their search, their website, which is right here, their CityScoop, and their Facebook and other social profiles onto the first page. And so the CityScoop content links to all this stuff and pushes it up. Here's another search for home stager Pomona. I'll go through these a little faster. Real estate stager Pomona at the top. Here is a CityScoop article. Here's another one. Here's their Facebook. And so over time, what'll happen is that we'll get all of these on the first page. The CityScoop content links to all this, and eventually we'll push it up above it. And we have a lot of industries where we've been working with for a long time where we can show what that looks like. But essentially, no matter what you're searching for, you keep popping up on the top. Here's real estate staging, Pomona, again on the top. And let's see what we have down here. Some more, another CityScoop link, article promoting their business. So here's something more specific, luxury home staging. Again, people search in all these different ways. You just want to be at the top when they search. Notice how here she's getting the only local result and all of this prime real estate over here. Same thing with best home stager, Pomona, over there with the big prime real estate. And the last one we have to show right now is commercial real estate stager. Again, right at the top. Looks like her CityScoop's at the top here. Here's another one. So, and then here's her Facebook. So really just trying to blanket that first page with many links that lead to the client, and so that they just keep popping up and they get that to that credibility point where people assume they must be the best or they're the top rated in their market. Okay. And so back to our presentation. Here is what she shared with us. Since partnering with CityScoop less than 2 months ago, our customer leads from Google have tripled. CityScoop has truly been a lifesaver for our company, transforming our online presence and significantly boosting customer leads. We also helped with other services that ultimately help drive new customers and save them valuable time. Typically, when people see how we can really help their business and get these kind of results fast, they want to know how long it will take and how much it costs. So on to our next slide, which is first, how long it will take. Most businesses start to see new customers starting to come in around the 3-month mark and build from there. Now, understand this varies greatly from industry to industry and from where you are, your market, where you're located. Some industries have a short sales cycle. Some, it may take months before the prospect that came in as a lead actually converts. But generally speaking, we see around the month 3 mark that this newfound visibility that we start creating starts to actually translate to actual customers. But either way, most clients get in just the very first month, every single one, we start to see upward movement right away in the first few weeks. And in the first few weeks, we start to see first page rankings on Google, either brand new ones they've never had, or they're moving up higher than they have been. the first thing that we do is we take a giant baseline measurement of where you're ranking for over 5,000 search terms before we do anything. So that we can see where you were before we came along and easily show how we're moving things up right out the gate. So as I mentioned, you know, most customers around 3-month mark, most clients see customers around the 3-month mark. Many clients have gotten them in the very first month. As soon as we turn it on, it just varies on a ton of different factors. But either way, we see it working right away, which compared to SEO, which is traditionally that people will say, 3 to 6 months before you really even start seeing anything. So it works very fast in that sense. In the world of online marketing and search engine optimization, it's just pretty lightning fast for results. In As I was saying, month 3 is typically though when it really starts to kick in. Month 2 is where we start to see traffic starting to translate. So month 1 we start getting visibility, and then month 2 we start to see that actually translating into organic traffic hitting the website or phone calls and stuff like that coming in. So before we get into pricing, it's important to mention that we have a very sophisticated reporting system that tracks absolutely everything. So we know not only is it working, but how to continue to improve and refine the results over time. Our system targets and monitors over 5,000 different keyword search terms, as I just mentioned. For comparison, most marketing companies or SEO firms will have you pick 50 to 100 words. With CityScoop, there's no limit. Our reporting is extremely granular as well and detailed, which gives us tons of insight. But we also have easy to read overview pages that simplify it all for those who are less excited about getting deep into the metrics. And lastly, we have pricing. So we can do all this for any business. We can drive customers, run their social media marketing, build out their website every month, push out positive PR about their business, and save them lots of time by taking it all off their hands. And we can do it all for as low as $1,000 a month. Actually, as a RESA members, you get it for as low as $750 a month. There's a 25% discount. All our service levels come with all the same components. You just get more horsepower as you go up. So let's take a closer look at our base option, which is what we recommend for most small businesses, unless you're in like a really big competitive city like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, etc. But usually option A is for most small businesses. And so in option A, you get 4 press releases on CityScoop. That's where all the power comes from that I showed an example of. Those are what push your website and business to the top, is our news channel powering it all. You also get 2 blogs for your website every month, and we can either post them for you or send them to your web team for posting. You also get 2 new web pages for your website. It's important to add new pages to your website every month, even if it's not putting it in your menu, which people are worried about sometimes about it making it look bloated. We're not talking about that. We're talking about building the website into a resource that Google's going to really like. Google likes a specific page that matches how people are searching. So if somebody is looking for a luxury home stager or luxury home staging company, Google likes it when your website has a page that's just about luxury home staging. So they can deliver up a page that matches exactly how they search. So that's part of what we're doing when we're doing web development every month, is we're strategically building out your website to draw in more high value traffic. And each one of these pages or our blog articles that go out either on CityScoop or in your own website, they all have 500 words of original content. No AI generated stuff. That doesn't work. It'll get you in trouble. There's checkers that can tell if it's been generated by a bot. So don't do that. Very, very not wise to do that. If you know anyone who is, let them know to stop. Excuse me. Sorry. So like with the blog articles, the pages we can either send to your web team to load, or at no extra cost, we can go in, load them into your website. add into the navigation, and we can work with every platform. So we can work with any kind of website. There's no limitations there. So one thing's important to note is that when a business signs up, one of the first things we do is match them with a writer that they really like. Really what we're writing about is projects you're working on, homes you're staging, stuff like that. These aren't Pulitzer Prize things or anything that your colleagues are supposed to be reading. These are just the news of your business, talking about the clients you're helping. But when someone signs up, we match them with the writer they like, and we have our writer write one article and we send it to them for review. If they don't like it, we match them with another writer, and rarely does it take more than one or two writers to find a great match. Plus, on top of that, we have great writers, but on top of that, we have a CRM system dedicated just to the writing process. So each client has a profile just for that our writers have access to. And when our clients give us feedback on the content, we add it to their profile and build it out in the CRM so we continue to improve on the content, which is how we're able to capture the voice of our client, the kind of voice that they want in their content, and fairly quickly. So anyway, that's about how people want to know how who these writers are and stuff. They're very good writers. We have tons of them, and we're always hiring more of them. And they go through a big training process. But then we take these press releases, the 4 on CityScoop, and then the 2 blog articles that go to your website, and we share all 6 of them to your social media profiles every month with a call to action statement and an original 50-word post. This type of sharing engages with our clients' readers far more than posting about accolades or upcoming holidays and stuff like that. So, in addition to all this, that's the work we do, but you're getting guaranteed results, and you get a personal account manager, a human being that you get to know, who you can book time with whenever you want to review results and ask questions or anything about your campaign. Going back to our slideshow, there is a one-time setup fee of $750. It includes a whole bunch that we have to do. Every client or website goes through a diagnostic phase as part of this setup process. Every website has different problems, and we basically just need to do whatever it takes to get the results and make sure it works. And so those may be varying different things per client, but it always includes 500 words of copy that we add to the homepage. Google needs at least 500 words, and more is better. And we, with our design team or your design team, we can add it to the site so it's broken up and looks really nice in sections. It includes SEO, traditional on-site search engine optimization for your website. We got to go in and fix all the keywords that are embedded in the code. It includes, Google listing optimization, making sure that your profiles on the search engines, not just Google, are all optimized so that they can show up higher on the list and grab customers. Includes a first baseline report I mentioned with over 5,000 search terms that we run on your website. It takes a few days to run this giant thing, and some admin stuff. And ultimately, we have to also gain access to your social media accounts, or even help you set them up if you don't have any already, or gain access to accounts that maybe you have but don't have access to. So as I mentioned, it all varies, but it's a big setup process, and that consists of about 2 weeks of how long that takes to get all that set up before we go live on CityScoop and start promoting you. So the first payment includes the first month and the setup fee. The second payment's actually about 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks, depending on what we run into after the first payment, because we have to do all this diagnostic stuff, fixing your website and all that stuff, and make sure you like your writer and all that stuff, and ask questions and go through a kickoff call and find out your goals and what are the most important types of customers that you're trying to reach. So anyway, of course, we can always set up a call afterwards, one-on-one, to go over any detailed questions in case there's anything I'm missing. But that's the majority of it, minus some add-ons we have. Web design, it's not included in our all-in-one marketing package, any of the levels, but it's something we can help with, whether that's a brand new website or a makeover, or just even troubleshooting if you've got some problems that you're having trouble getting fixed. We also do logo design and branding. We can do Google Ads. All of this is trying to generate natural organic rankings, if you know the difference between versus the Google pay-per-click ads. These can be very expensive, but nonetheless, if it's good advertising, it's generating more than it costs. Typically, people want to add on more. They want more customers. That's a way we can add on top after we've really already maxed out what we can get on the organic side. And then newsletter marketing. We can take all this news that we're producing, all these great stories and positive PR, and we can feed snippets into your newsletter and run that for you, or feed it to your team who's already running it for you. So some final last takeaways here. We have a money back first page guarantee, and we're talking about hundreds or even thousands of first page placement showing up all over the place, not just a couple searches. For it to really work, as I mentioned, you have to show up all over the place. And skipping ahead, we have a month-to-month contract. You can cancel anytime. So we're really trying to get to the 3-month mark where it can really kick in and you see how well this is working, so that you never want it to go away. You're not tied to anything, so we're very much a proof-based show me company. We just want to get a chance to show you what we can do and let you decide for ourselves, because many people who've been around for a long time have either been burnt by SEO or didn't get optimal results, or got something that they didn't really think that they were getting. And so there's a lot of confusion. And so for that reason, we like to make sure people understand that we're not SEO. This isn't just like backlink building. There's so much more to it. Likely, if you have an SEO expert, it's possible they really won't understand how our system works. But like a cell phone, most people don't really care how much it works, more that just that it will work every time. And so we have been around for over 15 years, and we continue to get stronger as our news channel grows bigger, which is important to you because we continue to use that power to push our clients. So as we get bigger, it only becomes more successful in our battle to win as many links as we can at the top of Google. So the last thing I'll leave you with is that our platform is compatible with every website builder and marketing platform, from WordPress to Squarespace to Wix and Joomla, and even hard-coded websites from the 90s. So it works with everything. There's no limits to that. And if you have any questions, we're happy to set up a call, spend some time with you talking about your goals and obstacles you're trying to overcome with your business, and then explore how we can help. So if you are ready to get signed up and like what we offer, or have talked with anybody, you can lock out those non-RESA stagers in your area and sign up by going to cityscoop.com/RESA. That's just CITYSCOOP.com/RESA, or click the link in this right here in this last slide of this demo, which we can send to you. If you put in your email in the chat box, or if you email me at info@cityscoop.com, we'll send you our marketing packet with this demo and a whole bunch of other information you can dig into if you want. If you do go ahead and sign up, if you fill out you click a link, you fill out your payment info, you put in RESA as the coupon code, so we know where you came from, so you get the discount. And as soon as we get your payment info, we'll reach out to you the same day or the next business day to schedule a kickoff call and get the process started. So once again, thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak today. And I have plenty of time for Q&A with everybody.
Thank you so much, John. That was pretty exciting and impressive to see how much you guys outrank those big names when it comes to those local searches. I mean, that's saying something.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a quick question just based on some of the stuff that came up in the chat. For a brand new home stager who maybe doesn't have, number one, a lot of extra budget set aside for marketing at the moment because they're still, getting themselves going in this business, how could you say that this would be a justified expense for them as a brand new business? And is it something that you would still recommend for new business owners, or is it something that maybe you want to wait until you have a little bit more newsworthy information under your belt?
Right. Right. Well, I can see the concern with I'm brand new and maybe I don't even have any news. And so I'll address that part first. Um, in the beginning, and we do deal with a lot of brand new businesses. We work with some national franchise brands, and so they bring people in that buy a franchise, and they're very much just starting out. And we actually do pre-marketing. Well, we'll start putting out press release before they even open their doors in order to create rankings ahead of time and hopefully get ahead of it. And when you're part of a network,
Smart.
worst case scenario, you get a lead that comes in too early, but that's obviously a great problem to have in a lot of scenarios. So in that scenario, we just focus on the services that they offer, the different things that they can help with, put out slightly more general information. And then when they actually start staging homes or painting houses or fixing cars or whatever it may be, then we can start actually getting those stories from them. We actually have an app in the app stores where you can do a little casual 1.5 minute video. You can talk about to the camera, or you can just be behind and narrate it and show off what's a little day in the life of your business, kind of like these short reels that are taking over the internet and social networks. But instead is that we'll put those powerful videos talking about how you helped a client at the top of Google. So anyway, so that's a little bit of the transition from general content for a brand new business to where we want to go. But it's absolutely fine. We can actually create news for a brand new business. We typically actually shy away from saying, things like announcing that we're opening. We just maybe
Mm-hmm.
don't do that, and that's what everyone kind of
Right,
goes, hey,
definitely.
we're opening, let's announce that. So we kind of shy away from that and just more just let's just jump right into it and let's just start putting news out there and kind of never look back. And then so the second part of that is, when to start and the advertising dollars, which I know are very thin. And as a lot of people probably know or have heard, you really want to have multiple streams of leads coming in, not all your eggs in
Mm-hmm.
one basket. And so, yes, get out there, network, go to the chambers, be in B&I if you are, meet people, create relationships, maybe even try some low cost mailers and stuff. But to quote Larry Ellison, who one of the franchises we work with is business coaches, and their top business coach I know very well and work with. And he has met Larry Ellison, and he quoted him. He said, when he asked him about what his recommendation is as a new business for marketing, he said, fail cheap and fail early and often
Mm.
and move on. So try things out, but make sure you're not putting too much into it and move on and try things that work for you. So you definitely want to try that. As far as the internet goes and Google, though, that's really, a lot of people are talking about this more too, is the backbone of what every marketing campaign should be. And so some
I
extreme
agree.
cases that really illustrate it. One of them would be if you do a radio campaign or a commercial or something like that, or even a flyer, and it sparks someone to go, oh, I have been thinking about staging, we're thinking about something, and then maybe they didn't get your information off of they missed the prompter on the television. They were like, what was the URL? Oh, I didn't get it. So they're just like, well, let me do some Google searching around here. And they start looking for stagers. If you don't have that internet presence in place, you're the backbone of your marketing. You're going to miss out on a lot of activity, either from people just searching, or
Mm-hmm.
your other marketing leads them to it. Or often what happens is people spend money, they motivate someone to a point where they actually take action, and then they go to the internet and then they find their competitor. They're actually driving their competitor's marketing. And so really the best way is ideally is you have that backbone in place. You should absolutely start with Google. you know 80 to 90% of all new service searches start with a Google search. So in that
Right then
theory,
and there,
80 to
I just
90,
want to say
go ahead.
the people in the chat, put a one in the chat if the first thing that you do before you go to a new business for a service, if you Google them. I want to see a one in the chat if you do that before you even pick up the phone to call them, because I know
Okay.
that's how I operate. I mean, even
Yeah.
those businesses that I know their website, to your point, John, I still go to Google and I type in
Yeah.
the business name because I'm lazy and I don't want to type out the whole web address. I'll just
Right.
put it in Google. So yeah, I do think that as individuals, we operate by going to Google first. And just in the chat box alone, I could see that a lot of you also go to Google first. And I love that you are on a month to month basis. So if you're not seeing the results and you decide that you don't want to spend your marketing dollars this way anymore, you can cancel, and you're not tied into a ridiculous contract that sometimes you can get tied into. But I
Sure.
see we have a couple other questions here that came up in the Q&A box. One of them is, if somebody does not have a website yet, do you recommend that they go through you to build that website, or can they build their own website first and then work directly with you?
Right. Well, we can do them pretty affordably, starting as low as $1,000 for a 10-page website that comes with over 6,000 words of content, which you need for
Wow,
the search engine. So there's a lot in there. So we probably do it in a much more efficient way on your own, but you can absolutely do it on your own. We'd ask that you bring us in so we can guide you to make sure that you're sitting your
smart,
time efficiently, and we'd recommend even which platform. We can help you pick domain names and all that stuff. All those little decisions do add up. But if you have a web address that says XYZ and a terrible website, we can still rank it for home
cool.
staging. But there are things we
So
can do.
you
So yeah,
can work
either
with
way.
people's. The other question that came up kind of related to that is, can you work with web developers that already exist? And my guess is that you can, and that's something that you're used to doing. Am I right with
Yeah.
that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do a lot of that. We actually have a reseller program where we have SEO companies and web designers that actually couple our program into what they do. And so we absolutely work with web developers and other SEO companies and marketing companies. We would love to work with them, show them too what we can do, not only just you, because sometimes that is a great way that we stumble on new relationships. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's nice. Okay, so if somebody does want to work with you and they're not quite ready to pull the $1,000 budget, I see we've got somebody in the chat. You mentioned at the beginning you have a discount for RESA members. So not everybody here in the webinar today or who will watch the replay, because it'll be available, will be RESA members. So if you join RESA for $190 annually, how much money did you say you're going to give it to them a month instead of $1,000?
250 a month, so $3,000 annual savings. So,
Yeah, okay. So that sounds like it's worth the membership for RESA alone to get that kind of a discount.
yeah.
Somebody else in the chat mentioned that they run their business from home, and we're actually doing our state of the industry survey currently, a little plug for that. And I've noticed that a large number of stagers are in that same boat where they don't have a physical location, maybe because they aren't doing the vacant stagings yet. And this
Mhm.
particular person mentioned that they had a hard time getting, I'm guessing, a Google My Business listings because they didn't have a physical address. And they're wondering
Mhm.
if that's something that your business can help them bypass.
Absolutely, we do a lot of that. Google's always upping their constraints more and more. And
Mm-hmm.
when we deal with these franchises that open these brand new businesses, they're largely a lot of times, especially like the business coaching franchise, they're all at home. You know, they're
Yeah.
all home based. And it really varies from market to market. So what it comes down to is we know how to jump through whatever hoop it will take in order to make it happen and get you approved. But it might be something totally different depending on where you are. And just to give you an example, some areas of the country are known to have fake businesses and spam areas and accounts and stuff like that. So if you're in that area, unfortunately, you're just getting lumped into the bundle, and Google's going to make you do as much as maybe even a video of you in your home and showing pertinent information. And we have to send in stuff like utility bills and all this stuff, but we handle all that for you. So that's definitely part of our all-in-one solution and making it
And I will
happen.
just say, from having to get Google on the phone, that alone
Yeah, good
takes a
luck.
long time, right? So if you've
Unless you
got
want to
somebody
buy
on,
ads.
right, if you got somebody on your team like John from CityScoop that knows how to work around that, hey, hey, hey. um, so I did see there was another question. How do you establish your business on Google? Oh, okay, that was another repeat. If you don't have a physical address,
Yeah, not a
let's
problem.
see. Oh, okay. So somebody mentioned that they are in Florida and they noticed that Bianchi Interiors is in California. How does your services work throughout the United States? And do you offer services in places like Canada?
Great. So we have clients. subscribing active accounts in almost every United States, in every state in the United States.
Okay.
I think pretty maybe everyone now, at least a couple. With franchises, we'll get a relationship, and then so they have people spread all around. So that's how we're in all these different areas and different industries and stuff. But we can help people absolutely in Florida, and we do have clients in Canada as well. It works all the same, no matter where you are. Slightly
Okay.
different in Canada, but that's mainly just comes down to keywords stuff and how that works. Google defaults to google.ca instead of .com if you're in Canada, but our system feeds into all of the search engine, and all the different variations of Google. So it works, and they will show up under the Canadian version of Google as well. We get that question from people in Canada a lot.
So for some of the people that are on the webinar today, they may not even understand what SEO is. And I noticed that you wanted to definitely set you guys apart from SEO. So why don't you tell people a little bit about SEO and then how you are different from SEO? Because I want to make that part
Right.
really, really clear.
Cool. Yeah, no, for sure. That's great. Let's kind of back it up. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's largely the practice of trying to get your website to get customers through the search engines. So you put keywords on them and you put content on pages, and there's all these other little things, and it's very debatable. But ultimately, what you're doing is SEO is the work that you do to try to get a result, which is to the top of the search engines so that people can ultimately call you and find you. The big difference is that SEO is just the work, not the result. There's no outcome, there's no guarantee at all. Whereas with us, we're absolutely selling just the results. SEO is just one very small piece of the puzzle. It's very necessary and it's very easy. And it's definitely something that everybody keeps close to the vest. And we share that openly with everybody because SEO doesn't get you to the first page. That's where you have to have this enormous amount of authority, but you still have to do the basics right, the SEO. And so, what SEO is, every page in your website, in the code, not on the website itself, you have an opportunity to tell Google and the search engines, if somebody types these words in to the search bar, I would like to show up. And that's all you're doing, is you're spelling out the words that you would like to show up under. And so many people get that so wrong. It's crazy. The very most basic thing, if you don't even have that right, you have no chance. So SEO, you could also say it's like the materials to build a house versus
Mm.
we're actually selling the house, the final result. So that's the main fundamental difference, is our guarantee that will get you to the top.
So speaking of that guarantee, I did notice on one of your slides towards the end that you mentioned that you offer a money back guarantee. So how does that work? Does that mean you want them to go through that full 3-month process to make sure that they are having a chance to rank higher? Or does that mean after that first month, if they didn't see results from you in their eyes, that they could get their money back? How can you explain that a little more?
Yeah. So the first page guarantee is for what we coin as large scale first page placement. We don't want people to think, oh, it's just like, oh, that's only one search. I got you up and we're off the hook. And it's not even something that somebody searches for. So, but how
Mhm.
we've defined it is large scale first page search engine visibility. And after 3 months, if we haven't come through on our promise, which I'm telling everyone it's going to happen in the first month, but if you're not seeing it by the third month, we'd give you every dollar back that you spent with us. I'll tell you
Wow.
though, in 15 years, it's never happened because it works, like I said, every time, and it only
Yep.
keeps getting stronger. And we know what we're doing. So the only reason it wouldn't work is, if Google just went out of business or something. We're feeding to Google, so we are
Right.
essentially tied to them. But other than that, yeah, it works every time. But we do back it. If for some reason something happened and we're looking and you're not showing up like we're promising, we would give you a full refund.
Wow. So to me, it sounds like it's kind of a no-brainer. We have a team here that creates content, and we also, have gone the route of paying ghostwriters, and that alone, we were probably paying half of what your service is a month, and
Right.
they they were more like Chat GPT ghostwriters. Let me tell you.
Right. Yeah,
And it sounds like
takes
you're
hard
really
work.
focused on creating news that people want to read. And that is what is going to help stagers rank higher on Google, is by giving people what they're searching for, right?
Yeah. People just want to
Yeah,
see examples of homes you've staged. Motivate us. I
definitely.
think the video portion is 100% optional. Not everybody wants to be on camera or even behind the camera. But our system does a whole bunch of really cool magical stuff if you send us a video, and we'll get people, drinking your Kool-Aid coming your way. And that's really where they actually reach out and they say, "Hey, Patia, I've been seeing some of your videos. I think I want to get started." And there's a lot of steps that goes from between showing up on top of Google to somebody giving you money. So, we have to
Exactly.
build these great resources to put at the top to get them to take that step. So
So
all
when
the stuff
you
we kind of
are
work with you and help, talk through the process. So anyway, what were you
with
saying? Sorry.
with that package, that you were saying that you build the pages for them once a month, does that include like any kind of lead generation? So I've seen at the beginning of the chat, some people were saying that they do rank on that first page of Google. They get lots of people that are showing up on their site, but they aren't turning into leads. So
Hmm.
do you guys help kind of get that person who shows up to actually become somebody who picks up the phone or sends an email? How can you help with that?
Yeah, so that would just fall under more of lead conversion. We're getting the traffic, So step one is the visibility. We are reporting measures in kind of blocks. Step one is the visibility. Am I showing up? Where am I showing up? Where am I not showing up? And to the person who said that they show up, we don't want to leave it on just a chance of I type in a couple searches. We would run a 5,000 search term report and surrounding cities and find out what your true visibility is. Because usually you find that while you do show up in some places, there's a lot where you're not showing up. So if you're already getting some traffic, that's actually a really great sign. That usually means there's tons more traffic to get that you're not tapping into. Number two is the conversion side. So that comes with looking at your website. Why is it not converting? Is there not proper call to action? Is there not good lead capture? Is there not an on page form that allows people to autofill? And allows you to trace, did that person fill out the form on this page versus that one, so you have some insight about where your traffic's coming from and what type of customer and lead you're getting and all these things that are important. So we absolutely help with fine tuning that process. And that's what our reporting often indicates is, hey, we're getting the visibility, okay, and then now we're getting all the actions, we're getting traffic, we're getting hits. Why are they not buying? And that usually points to the website itself
Mhm.
or how something's set up on the client side. And so that's actually a great problem to have, because now we're going, okay, those are the hard parts. Now we just have to figure out how to fine tune this a little bit more. So that's sometimes where our graphics teams comes in too, just
Oh,
to make it
okay.
look a little bit more attractive. And then the
Hmm.
last part of that is I would recommend offering a promotion of some sort that you feel comfortable with for first time customers. Because a lot of us, as we probably admit, you look at a couple options. Well, this guy's going to give me a discount. I'm going to try them, and that might be the tipping block for why you
Yep.
choose one person over another.
And maybe it doesn't even have to be like a discount that's a monetary amount off. Maybe you're just
Right.
offering them, hey, we're going to give you a photo package. We know how important those MLS photos are. I've got a photographer on board. I'm already paying for them to take my professional staging photos. I'll throw those in for you, you
Mm.
know? So it doesn't have to be something that costs a stager extra money. I love that idea. And I love that Deborah says that she is in. And thanks, RESA, for the discount. No, thanks, John, for giving RESA members a discount. We really appreciate this partnership. And man, I can't wait to see how you change stagers' businesses. And we're going to have some more examples because I know you've been working with some new stagers outside of Pantia. So we talked before the webinar got going, and we're probably going to have John back next year so that we can get some more real life examples of how this is impacting home stagers. And if you want to be a part of that, it's a great time to join because John is offering a limited time discount for those RESA members. And if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat box. And Joanna will be sure that she sends you an email once this webinar is done with that. And then we can also send over, you said the slides, right? You had some information
Yeah.
with the slides so we could put that also in the email. So if you're interested in more details, put a 1 in the chat box. I see a few of you already have done that, and Joanna will make note of your names. If there are any other questions, we have a few moments left. And I know that this can seem overwhelming, especially if you are brand new to staging, brand new to the world of websites and using them to attract clients. But it sounds like this is a really valid investment. And just remember, your marketing expenses are usually a tax write-off too. So if it could save you time, give you new leads, make you look more professional, I'm in. Do you have any last minute details or thoughts for the people that are joining us today, or maybe catch the replay later?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in the materials we send out, we have a whole packet of like 7 different PDFs, and along with the demo of slides that I sent today. So if they want more information, there's a ton of stuff we can send
Cool.
to you to digest this a little more on your own terms.
And can you drop your email in the chat box one more time? Because I know you did it
I
at the
did,
very
yeah.
beginning. And while
Yeah, my
John's
main
doing
one.
that, I do want to
Oops.
just shout out that we have our State of the Industry survey. I know you've probably seen the social media posts, you've probably gotten the emails, but next week is the deadline to participate. And it is a very important survey. It will take you about an hour of your time. And because of that, we are going to give you a free copy of the report, as well as a chance to win a $100 gift card. And the report really is worth it alone. And it gives us a chance at RESA to release some updated national statistics. So when real estate agents call, and I have a phone call actually this week with a realtor magazine, and I wish I had some updated stats to give them, but we will hear soon with the thanks to all of you in the chat. Please check out the website. Joanna put it in the chat box. And thank you all for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
Thanks
You're
again,
good to go,
everyone.
John? All right,
Yep.
you guys. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us. And it looks like we got a lot of people who are showing some interest. So if you have questions for John, he did put his info, cityscoop.com is where you can reach them. All right. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.